entrance for therapy and rehab. This would be your wellness center facility, which would consume the space in K and B and A. And so this is a scenario where you have a partner then with the operation of the facility. The hospital already has a front door. They already have staff that are accustomed to group programming, group exercise, those things. So because of that, if this can be a partnership, this is going to reduce the operating expenses for your future facility to provide the facility to the community. So the goal is, can you provide the service for the community of indoor recreation, and then you also have to operate it. So this is a scenario where you can find a capital investment partnership potentially, and also definitely an operating expense partnership. So having that partnership drives the city commissions, the city budget, their contribution towards the future expense down some. So the public, this is ultimately then a public and semi-private, the hospital being a nonprofit, semi-private public partnership to provide the service that is currently not in the community, right? So we've looked at that, and this is we are to the point with this where we're comfortable bringing it to you and showing it to you and saying that we want to pursue the MOU that's attached for you in the packet. We will work on that with the hospital, and if we can bring that back in a couple of weeks, we will. The goal is to then take this drawing and work with the hospital towards an agreement. What would an agreement look like to create this space? And so that's where we're at with the indoor rec subject. Now, when we are talking about pickleball, that's not to say any of these things are jumping ahead of the other. We're trying to address all of these things. So at the last meeting, you heard Tommy give an update on the skate park, give an update on the work he's doing on the mountain bike park, the other things that already have capital funding for the year we're in. But we're trying to push all of these things forward at the same time, at the same pace, because we do acknowledge that you all made all of these a priority for us. Now then, saying that, we can talk about this as we continue to refine the idea. This will come back to you, and we're not necessarily asking you to approve anything tied to this tonight. What we'll do is we'll continue to flesh out details, and so that if there is an agreement that can be reached, we will start to bring that information to you when the terms of that start to show out, and then we'll ask your confirmation at that time if those start to be a reasonable direction. But where we've got to now is we've got to a description of a project as noted by those bullet points that we think the hospital can get behind, and we think that the Parks and Rec can get behind. And so we want to flesh that out into an agreement. The other pieces to the plan that we had noted was the community pool and pickleball complex. At the end of the day, when we talk about White's Park and we talk about all the land that we had the basketball courts that were located out here, and the county engineer at the time when those were built put those in. When we were out there doing that, we did put them in at a random location inside of that space. And so what we reimagined that as, what if those were not there? Could we build in this space what is needed? And so the representation on this screen is a space diagram that represents, yes, you can get a correctly sized swimming pool there. Yes, you can get a correctly sized building there. And yes, you can get all your pickleball courts there, and then maintain space for the skate park and space for basketball, including maintaining your volleyball area. So the next step with this was, once we got to this drawing and we had confidence in this drawing, we took this to the magistrates and the county judge that were individually focused on this on behalf of the fiscal court, just to take their temperament of the project. We do think that This is something that the county will rally behind. That is at least verbalized to us. They are asking their consultant that is working on, for them, their architect, to take this drawing up an elevation and see what a more detailed layout of this would look like to ensure that all those things could function there. We are going ahead and having the space resurveyed, verifying all the grading on the site, the utilities on the site. They'll be talking about that in the morning. We expect them to authorize their architect to look at this and shift pickleball, their part of pickleball to this location, and certainly we hope to have more information about this fleshed out over the next couple of weeks. So then, at the end of the day, what this space here is, and we'll point out the original master plan for Millennium Park, is where that space is this little area here, where the original pool, the original building and parking area is in the original master plan for Millennium Park. So all we've done is reuse some of this land for the ideas of the skate park and the pickleball courts. So it's not necessarily this space diagram is not a completed layout by no means. And so I want to make sure that's known, and make sure we repeat that this ultimate layout would change based on how you actually design it. But right now, this drawing coupled with this drawing are the things that are boiling out as the highest, best idea. That produces the lowest long-term operating expense, produces the lowest capital cost, and is most acceptable for the parties that we've talked to. Tommy, do you want to talk about that any? Just so they hear it from somebody besides me, what your opinion is, what your thoughts are.
Oh, sure. Let's start. I'm going to make a football analogy. We all know Charlie Brown, Lucy, and the football, right? That's kind of where we've been the last year or two on this. We started with the pool at Jeannie Rogers. All got taken. We redid the pool at Bunny Davis. Take it away. And me and Josh have kind of investigated many different ways to do this. Would I like to see one center at the fairgrounds? Yes. Do I think this plan is financially smarter for the city and it have more of a buy-in from the county? Yes. So I do think that this is a good plan. And if we get to it, the quicker we get to it, the quicker. I think, a one big facility is a long ways away, where I could see this design of the two hospital, which we've had many discussions with the hospital. They are definitely considering this. If we have the two areas where the city and the county focuses on this build and the hospital focuses on that build, if we can get it all, we would hit all our targets. So that's what I say.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, and it is a tough project to describe all those things, and so I'm bringing it up tonight. I want to make sure you all hear the description and hear the work that has gone into getting to a point where we think that all parties are trending towards support of the idea of equal and commitments and that kind of thing. And so to that end, we will be asking for a joint meeting with the county to see this together as a group towards the 30th of September right now. That's the trend. We'll confirm that over the next couple of days for you. So I'd ask that you would save your calendar September 30th for 9 a.m. We think this is trending towards agreement with all parties, and everybody is rallying behind this ultimately. And is this a satisfactory design? Absolutely. This enables you to phase in things so that you can implement them with your reserves. More likely, your reserves can offset future debt potentially. Depends on how you want to do it. If y'all want to do the whole thing, that's a different scenario at one time. But the good thing about this is, for example, when you're putting the pool precisely at this location, you can adhere to the original intent of the pool at that location, in that you can satisfy the needs of your community through the week. And then on the weekends, when you have your spike of visitors to the Little League complex, for example, you get to peel in some of those dollars into your Parks and Rec system to help offset the operating expenses of your pool. And you do struggle with that at a different location. So that strategically, that is a good location. And then as you need to ramp up your aquatics capacity down the road, you can still do Jenny Rogers and handle that peak as you can afford it. You don't necessarily have to bond all of that. You can start to build capital reserve to pay for that as a future phase, and this is a phase one where you do have partnerships potentially.
And as Earl said, this is just a, can it all fit? So we asked Bear Becker just to quickly see if it could all fit. I don't envision it looking nearly like this at all. I would say that the park offices would be connected to the pool. There needs to be some more parking in there at times, because you can think that you've got a full baseball parking lot there, but you got to remember that if you go out there right now with fall baseball, it's full. Yeah. So we'd have to get some more parking in on this plan. And obviously, this diagram would change. So again, with the county architect, they are going to, we've gone over this with him and also with Julie, and said how we'd kind of like to rearrange it, and he's working on that and preparing a survey on this area.
Have some of the magistrates seen this proposal?
I believe so, yeah.
Yes, yeah, and
Yeah.
I think this represents the collective, the highest acceptable answer that we could provide. And it seems to be well-received by everybody that's looked at it collectively, for sure, yeah.
Talk to me about the hospital piece. The benefits of the hospital doing the proposal here. The hospital is willing to finance the proposal in the city or county? Or?
The likelihood of this would probably be an agreement between the city and the hospital directly. This would be, and frankly, because the city is the sole owner of the Bunny Davis Center, this facility has the hospital, the details, who's going to finance what, that's one of the things we've got to work out and work towards an agreement on. But the idea is that, they do group fitness, they do have equipment, they do have those things. Now that the community, when the city got into the business of a fitness center back in the 90s, you really didn't have any alternatives. When the city got the Bunny Davis Center opened, the wellness center didn't exist. But now you have multiple opportunities for some of the fitness aspects. And so it's a service in the community that the city and county don't necessarily have to directly provide through parks to still make it available, right? So we can do it through parks. And frankly, the idea of the hospital investing in wellness in the community is not a foreign idea. This is not a groundbreaking idea so when you go on vacation out of town, one of the things that I'll just talk about myself, I've got two daughters that play college basketball. So I have to, when we go on vacation, I got to find somewhere for them to work out while we're out of town. And when we go out of town, the first place we found was the Logan Healthcare Wellness Center in the community, where it was a partnership between the city and the hospital. And the hospital provided a wellness center exactly like this that they operated and they managed. And Parks and Rec just simply had their banner there. And if Parks and Rec, we need space for indoor programming, whether it be volleyball or basketball or any other winter sport, right? So this, having 3 or 4 courts, hopefully we can get 4 out of it. If you can get 4 courts there, you can envision a scenario where you have a curtain drop down, 1 court still preserved for the public, 3 courts, Parks and Rec's in there operating those 3 courts. But meanwhile, Parks and Rec's they don't have to manage the gate for the fitness center that's open, for the gym that's left open, and for the other group fitness. All those things can still be going on with the expertise of the hospital staff that's out there operating that facility now. They're very good at that. And if you go out there in that space, they maximize the programming in that space and maximize revenue in a way that we struggle to because we're being Parks and Rec, people look at us differently. And so they are able to be a lot more mechanical about their process, and it means that they populate the building with a lot more density of user, and that drives revenues to offset operating expenses where we struggle with it because we are a community agency, right?
I have a lot of questions, so
Yep.
we'll have to meet, because I don't know how much everybody
Right.
else has been privy to all of it. But I have questions, because I understand the hospital does fitness, and I understand we have Bunny Davis that is aging.
Right.
And I know the pool is aging.
Right.
But as a commission, we have talked about different places in town, and maybe the field is not the most important thing. I think the community asked for an indoor facility. That didn't really say an indoor pool, it was a indoor facility that we need, a multi-purpose building.
That's what this is.
Right, but
Right.
I don't really get the connection with the hospital on that, because, would Parks and Rec be completely in charge of that? I
But so-
understand the fitness side of it with the hospital, but I don't understand the.
It's about
gym.
community wellness. So it's a service that is a financial commitment for the hospital to
Right.
help provide, bottom line. It is very common to do it this way so that that space is made available for the community through, and promoting health and wellness for the community. So it's not just group fitness, it's not just fitness through weights, it's community space like this. And so the example that we've seen recently is the one in Morristown, Tennessee, where it was, I don't know how.
For me personally, and I'm just one.
Yeah.
Our community is everywhere. You've got so many kids on this side of town. There's nothing over there. And we talked about that as a commission, I know we've got splash pads, 2 splash pads. We need another splash pad.
Right.
But I just think that's further out. And McDowell Wellness is a place that people have to pay to go. And there's a lot to figure out before, we need to discuss, me personally.
Yep.
I think in this scenario, the city would be leasing the gyms for our basketball programming, things like that. Would be the plan, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's one of the things you could do. You have to fully investigate how other communities are implementing it once it's done. But the idea of abandoning Jenny Rogers is not on the plate, right? So your Jenny Rogers facility, you want to grow that and continue to push use into that facility, which is very similar to this. And so you're trying to diversify some of your offerings. Here would be where your bulk use is for like your league play, volleyball league in the wintertime. We don't have that space now. So your basketball league would be centered out of here, like U12 would be centered out of that location for the Parks and Rec, and the Parks would run that program through that facility. And so it would be, and the argument was made to me at one time, and which is, I've always remembered, folks have said, well, where's your community center? Well, they have 4,000 members now already. That is your community center, whether they pay or not. That 4,000 that's 4,000, not individual members, that's family memberships combined. That's a majority of your population in the county goes through that facility. So I understand your point, and I'm certainly not trying to.
I'm all about partnerships, but
Right.
I think we have
Right.
to look at them very carefully,
Right.
because there's other opportunities as well with schools. And, there's just a lot of questions I have.
Yep.
That's just me, that I
Totally.
think we have to hear answers to. Because we've bounced the pool everywhere. And the guys that have been doing the plans, I don't know what we just keep going from one place to another. So, yes, I would like to move forward. I think the commission would too, but, there's just a lot of questions I have. We'll get you any information you want, but we'll
we'll continue to refine it and bring it back to you. And if at some point you all don't like it, you just tell us. We'll go a different direction. But as of right now, this is your lowest cost to your operating budget is partnership with them. And so we'll see if there's an agreement that we can reach that would satisfy you.
I think the other thing you're saying to us, and then I advocate just shooting straight, something like this is where we're gonna get 100% buy-in from the county. And the reason why, not the hospital side, just the Millennium Park side, because it's joint ownership of the property. Anything we do with Jenny Rogers, or at the fairgrounds, for example, excuse my French, we gotta go with the loan right now.
No, and I
Find
think
some other
that,
partners.
yeah, Millennium Park, I mean, I like that plan to see, I mean, do you like the plan?
Well, and I think the other thing we gotta remember is that if we have a joint park meeting, and even before that, all the other proposals that have been tossed out at us as a commission, we need to pull them all out and review them and see which one we think is best for us to advocate. I just think I've got 3 or 4 different options right now to look at.
I agree.
And I think Tommy's position, though not speak for Tommy, but my position is, I have the rest of this year, Lord willing, to see us break some ground on something. I didn't say next year, I said rest of this year. And I think the community needs to see us break ground on something somewhere sometime soon. Because again, we've been blessed to have water where it has stayed in one location all summer long. We've just been really blessed that it stayed there.
Well, I think come September 30th, the commission and the fiscal court are ready to move forward.
Right.
Compromise, do what's best, get as many capital and operational partners as possible, because it's not building it, as Tommy knows, it's maintaining long-term.
Yeah.
And that is very expensive, repairs and
That's right.
manning places. So
That's right.
thank you for all your work to find partners, and I'm looking forward to September 30th.
I'm not.
I think I think this
I'm
will
ready
go
to
much
compromise.
better.
We will produce information along between now and September 30th. This could be, this picture could be refined by then.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can start to see this take a little bit better shape and have this conversation carried forward further.
But I still think it's important for us as a commission to look at all the different proposals over the last 2 years to help us move forward towards just one. Not knowing what that one's gonna be, but we gotta somehow get to where we say we're gonna do something. And I look at the finance director, who's also a city clerk this evening, you know, I keep talking about, I need $30 million, and she keeps saying I need to find another city if I want $30 million. Okay, I'm sorry. Anything else on this presentation?
No, sir.
It's interesting, though. Wow.
And this is really, as far as the city manager report goes, I'm thank you for letting me plug
Yeah.
this into that area of the agenda, but that's all I got, really.
Let me say something else, too. As we move towards September 30th, if I have a question about any of these proposals, can we agree to submit the questions to the city manager, to the park director? And if I send the one question, please commit to send it to all the commissioners. But also, I think it's important to submit it to the members of the fiscal court and the judge, too. So we get to 7 or 28, they will have had a chance to respond and react to all the different questions and concerns that we all have. That's, if we get to that meeting on the 30th of September and everybody has their questions on the table that have not been answered, I don't know if I want to show up.
Yeah.
True.
I've been through enough of those already.
As it relates to the county, I think we're trending in a very good direction with the improvements at Millennium Park.
Would you encourage them to share that positioning with the city commissioners?
Separately or individually?
Yeah, I gotta do it individually because you can't do it in collective body because I don't want to get a I don't want to get them in trouble.
You can go meet with the county judge, how's that? We'll get that together.
Well, that would be an easy meeting. It's the other folks. I gotta stop talking out loud.
Okay.
Let's go on. I'm sorry.
Tommy, have you brought this to the fiscal court yet?
Actually, which one are you
Albert.
talking about?
All this?
Well, Julie was with us last week.
Okay.
Going over the pickleball, and like we said, I believe they've approved the survey for the whole concept.
This will be.
Great.
Julie, wait a minute, hold it.
The fiscal
What's-
court,
what's-
The county administrator?
What's Julie's last name? Let's get it in the
Oh,
record.
I don't know.
Wagner.
Wagner.
Julie Wagner, right?
Yes, the
Wagner.
county will
All
be
right.
talking about
I'm
this.
He's gonna be
sorry,
mad at me.
Okay.
Not the judge, right? All right, okay,
The county will be talking about this tomorrow morning.
good,
Okay.
good.
That's what I wanted to hear. Thank you. Good.
I appreciate it, the work too. And I see all of this as an attempt to move forward, but get your questions asked. Thank you, guys. Let's go on. I was gonna ask you a break, but I'm just gonna see how. Let's get this, Y'all okay with going on? Okay, next item on the agenda is hear from the public. This time the public can speak to us about items that are not on our agenda for tonight.
Mayor Atkins, you have one name on your list, Mr. James Phillips.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you for your attendance.
You're welcome, and thank you. The last meeting, I was here, and the flood insurance was discussed. I didn't know that I would have been able to address that. I bought a piece of property on Locust Street, and I know we had some pretty severe rainstorms through the summer and spring, but it flooded my basement in the house I bought. They washed the manhole covers plumb off out of the holes, even in front of Danville High School. It floated every one of the water covers down through there. It floated them out of the road in the street, and it was only about maybe 100 feet where there was two drain lines and nothing was going down the drain lines, and the two water covers had floated up out of the ground. And I was wondering about, is there something can be done about cleaning or looking at the issue of it, keep floating and flooding like that?
Well, I can't say yes, but I'm gonna say
Oh,
yes, thanks for bringing that issue
Yeah,
in
I
front of us.
bring it to
because
the attention.
I assume city staff needs to.
I'm here to ask these
Yes, sir.
questions.
Yes,
Who do I speak to address this? And,
I can't answer that question for you.
okay, so I wanted to know who that might be.
He's sitting right there, Earl Coffey.
Yeah, we'll get your number before you leave,
Okay.
please.
All right.
And then we'll be.
And I'll get you
we'll
a
be in touch
card
with you.
before you go.
No, that's serious though. I appreciate you bringing it to
All
us.
right, I have one
Yeah.
other
Yes,
one
sir.
I wanted to address. I've been talking to the county. The state passed the law on licensing the side-by-sides, utility vehicles. The city has an ordinance on golf carts and stuff. I've read all the ordinances. I went over it. I've been working on this for over 4 years. I'm wondering, I've been told by the county, they want to find out what the city's going to do, or what are you all going to start out about what you're doing? So all I've been is back and forth, and I've been sent over here to talk to this. I called Stephen the other day. He said he can't talk to me about anything that has to pertain to the city. I thought he was our city attorney, but he said he couldn't answer this question to me, knowing the kid since he was born. Same with your son. Yes, sir, they played ball together all
Yes,
their
sir.
life. Miss Pete's husband and I competed and coached against each other and with each
But
other.
you said,
Miss Holland there, I'm pretty sure your father-in-law, Tommy? Yep. No, Tommy and I went to school all of our life together. Yep.
no, wait, don't leave, call her out.
I've known Miss Pete's husband and I coached baseball together and against each other. Tommy and I played ball together through high school.
You survived a lot of tough
Yeah,
folks, didn't
and
you?
your son and my son played ball from the time they started. Lee.
But the second item, though, let's make sure we
That
understand
was
that now.
about the subsides. Are we gonna come up with something on it?
We had
Yeah.
taken our recommendation, which was deferring to the county's judgment initially, because they were countywide, and it seemed to be a countywide issue. But certainly, we'll have your number. I'll talk to the county judge again, and we'll see if we can't give you a better answer for what their intention, because we don't want them deferring to the city necessarily. So if there's some
Yeah,
confusion.
I was kind of wondering about that,
Yeah.
because I had talked to the DMV in Frankfurt. I actually got to speak with a specialist who said the law was passed. It's a state law that has passed the state. It should be being addressed. We're 5 months in, 3 months, they notified everyone that this law was taking effect. It's been in effect now then for over 2 months, and nothing's been happening here.
Yeah.
Each county around us has passed every bit of it.
Yeah.
I'm
To allow
tired
or
of
to
getting it.
disallow?
I got a ticket, come over here from the farm, picks up some fence, end up getting a ticket, and anyway, it ended up getting dismissed, but still, I'd like to get an answer on it. I've got some landscaping needs to be done, and I'd just soon not put it all in the back of my truck. I can pull it with my side by side. I've got a trailer for it.
I love your smile tonight.
Thank you, buddy. Hey, buddy, you've always been a smile. I mean, I've known you for a long, long
All right.
time. Thank you.
Yes, sir. City staff will get back to you on those things, for sure, man. You waited all that time to entertain me, didn't you? You're a good man. All right, let's move along. Anyone else on the, oh, you said, nope, just one person, right? All right, anyone else desiring to speak to the city commission? I can't do that. I gotta wait till you wait the next meeting, don't I? Look at that, somebody back there. No, ma'am, can't do that, it's illegal. Get me shot. You see that lady back there with that pistol out her hand? I know you're my neighbor, but I can't do that. I can't do that.
Can't do what?
Can't let you speak.
Oh, you can't?
Remember, there's a seat out there you gotta sign up on like that young man right
I
there did.
know, but I just asked you if I may.
I know, but
Well, I was going to speak on the agenda, but you changed the agenda.
About Parks and Rec?
Yes, sir.
Parks, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Wait,
didn't
wait.
speak.
Oh, Mike.
Yeah,
May I? May I? Okay. I would just like to comment on what's being proposed. And I'm a Parks and Rec committee member.
Yes, ma'am.
And we had agreed on one set of plans that, with Tommy, that we really did like. And my biggest concern about what's being proposed here is that as a community, parents being over here doing this, and one being over here, and then having to cross the highway, yeah, if we could get it all one place, I think it's more acceptable. And I realize that financially, it's a challenge. I realize that, it's a lot of money. But if there's any way, I, as a member of the committee, I'm not speaking for the committee,
Sure.
would like to see it all be on one side of 127, where it's more accessible. I think it looks better to anybody coming in, considering bringing their industry in. They can see this one beautiful place and not have to say, well, the hospital has this, which I think the hospital had looked at working on the indoor rec center with us in the park. But I know, again, it all comes down, but I really hope you all will consider the appearance, the viability for the community, and it is for the community. And that's what I hope, if you will really consider it. Thank you for letting me say my piece, Mayor. Now, when I see you driving down the street, it might be another story. I'm sorry, Joe Marie Lammy.
So that was another plan. Oh, I'm not supposed. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was another. Stop them. Then, oh, the one I signed up, commissioner comments. Oh, wait, you can't leave now. Got me in trouble, this is gonna leave. Commissioner comments, I'm sorry.
Just very quickly, you know, it's just till September 17th. You can look at the comp plan and the future land use map. So just putting that out there. You can't complain if you aren't involved. So, you know, you can also go to bullplanning.org or go down here to the Planning and Zoning Office. But this map's going to determine where Danville can develop. So just put the word out to get involved. There's 2 more weeks.
Thank you, ma'am. Other commissioner comments? All right, let's move right along then. I had some, but I'm gonna save them for next time. Don't tell Stephen Dexter on me, but let's move along. Next item is payment of bills. Chair would entertain a motion to pay the bills as presented.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills as presented in the amount of $1,466,914.56.
Wow, you repeat that? Oh, thank you, ma'am.
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. Questions or comments about the bills?
No.
All those in favor of paying the bills as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you all. Next item is second reading of ordinance 2056, property tax rate.
This is the second reading of ordinance number 2056, an ordinance establishing ad valorem tax rates for fiscal year 2025 through 2026 and penalties for non-payment.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve resolution 20. Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong one. The second reading of ordinance 2056.
Thank you, ma'am.
Second. Forgot I was waiting on Kevin.
Thank you, ma'am. Is this a lowering of the tax rate?
Yes.
So for the public record, this does, by actual rate, lower the current real property rate to 0.1190 per $100 for your real property. Your personal tangible property would be set at 0.1595 per $100 for personal property and 0.200 of $100 of assessed value for motor vehicle rates. And as requested at the previous meeting, Ms. Crossfield has created a property tax website for the city of Danville that is accessible. It is because while the city of Danville does set our own property tax rates every year, we do contract with the Boyle County Sheriff's Office to collect our property taxes. It's very informational and tells you where to access information directly about your own property tax bill, including if you're in the city of Danville, you may have a school tax bill that is separate with the Danville school system. Some city of Danville residents have a Boyle County school tax bill that's included on their larger Boyle County Sheriff's Office issued tax bill. So it's a lot of FAQs about taxes and tax rates and how they're set and who's responsible for what. And I encourage everyone to go look at it. And effectively, the city has elected the compensating rate again this year to reduce your effective tax rate.
I like when you say reduce. We should get that in there, right? Okay, then, let's do a roll call vote.
Commissioner Peak,
Yes.
Mayor Atkins.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Holland.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Next item is Resolution 2025-090803, McKinney Waterline Project Change Order, number 1. Mr. Carrier.
Thank you, Mayor. This agenda item is regarding a change order number 1 for the McKinney Phase 1A Waterline Project. This revised alignment was required for proper waterline installation in relation to existing property line, creek location, tree clearing. There's no change in contract time. The anticipated change order value is $26,938.63 for a revised contract value from $375,000 to $401,938.63. So essentially, in summary, once the plans were developed some time ago and the project was awarded to the contractor, there's some erosion issues that arose in the field. And because of that erosion, the creek depth, we couldn't proceed with the water line installation as planned through a particular section of the project. So a revised alignment was required, an additional creek crossing, as well as extra clearing and heavy tree vegetation removal.
Thank you, sir. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-090803.
Second.
Thank you, ladies. Any questions or comments for Marshall? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, likewise, motion carries. Thank you all. Josh Morgan. Oh, what? Oh, the lineup. Hi, Josh. What time is it? Oh, wow, 10 minutes.
This should go real quick tonight. All
He
good,
always
all
says
good
that.
stuff in this one. The first is the second reading of the floodplain ordinance. I don't know if, Lee, you want to read that one?
This is the second reading of ordinance number 2057, an ordinance of the City of Danville, Kentucky, amending Chapter 6.5 Flood Damage Prevention and Stormwater Management, Article 2 Flood Damage Prevention, Section 6.5 through 21 definitions of the City of Danville Code of Ordinances in order to revise the definition of substantial improvement to be compliant with state regulatory compliance with the National Flood Insurance Program.
Thank you, ma'am. Want to make a comment, Josh? or-
Well, like we said before, this just it tweaks one word in the definition of substantial improvement, that the duration of those improvements, they over 5 years, not 1 year. So you can't, it's, like we said, if you can't spend more than 50% of the market value on a property in the floodplain without removing it from the floodplain over a 5-year period instead of a 1-year period. So it's a very unique definition that, like I said before, doesn't apply to a whole lot here in Danville because we don't have a lot of existing structures in the floodplain.
Thank you, sir. Roll call vote, Madam Clerk?
I believe you need a motion, yeah.
We have a motion?
Second.
All right. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the second reading of ordinance 2057.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, roll call vote, please.
Mayor Atkins,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Holland,
Yes.
Commissioner Peak.
Yes.
Josh, you're up to bed again.
Yes, thank you. The city opened bids on September 2nd for improvements to 3 ball fields at Millennium Park. Pretty much redoing the infields, kind of like we did on Field 2 at softball last year. We received 2 bids. Low bid was from MAS Excavating in the amount of $36,000. MAS did the work on Field 2 at softball last year for us, so we were very pleased with the work. And this is well within budget. We budgeted $150 for this project, and this plus the materials, I think we're going to be under $100,000. So we're going to be quite a bit under budget. I think we made a couple of tweaks to design once we got into it. So we're using a lot less material. There's a lot less dirt being moved. So I think we're going to be looking good on this one. Yeah.
Sounds good. Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve Resolution 2025-090804.
Second.
Thank you, ladies. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you all. Next one, Mr. Morgan.
Yes, this is a real quick agreement for fire monitoring at the parking garage. This is with Centos in the amount of $600, and this will cover our year. I think it's October 1 to September 30th year is how they run, which is, we've previously done this contract with Centos in the past.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-090805.
Thank you, ma'am.
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. Any questions for Josh? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you all. Josh, your last one this afternoon.
Yes, so on, I believe it was Wednesday afternoon, we received the email from the Federal Highways Administration. This is the ready to execute agreement for the Safe Streets for All grant that we were awarded last year. The city will receive $12.26 million with this grant. It's being matched with $2,570,000 from the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, and the city will be responsible for $500,000 of the match. This project will be safety improvements to the intersections along the bypass from Belinda Boulevard, which is where Applebee's is, to Daniel Drive. Ghost Pike is being included. It's been separated out. It's a highway safety project going through Frankfurt right now. We're getting it ahead of everything else. So it'll be ahead of this project. And then also includes the intersection at Cassidy and US 127, Houstonville Road South. So that's at Cheddar's, that intersection, Walmart, Cheddar's stoplight. So it includes that as well. So yeah, this is a great grant that we've received. We were anxious when we were going to get this agreement, because things have been moving pretty slow through federal highways, but we received this Wednesday, and we want to get it signed and back to them as quickly as we can, so that we get it, we stay on top of the pile is what we're trying to do right now.
Is there a motion? $12 million?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-09-0806.
Second.
Thank you, ladies. Any questions for Josh?
Now, is it in the budget? I mean, it says it will be in future budgets, because of course it's not starting right now, right?
We didn't know
Yes.
when the grant agreement was actually coming, and so we talked about it during the budget last
Right.
year, and we talked about so the municipal aid money could be used to offset the 500,000.
Okay.
So we have a dedicated transportation resource for it.
Okay.
And this will be, we have 5 years to spend this money, and this schedule will take 5 years. So this will be spread out over several budgets. And our portion will just be, our percentage will come out as we spend it.
Okay.
So I anticipate this first year, which we mostly design, will be pretty small for this upcoming year. But we're going to move really quickly on this. Spoke with KYTC at the conference we were at last week. They're probably going to administer this grant for us. So that's what Lexington is doing with their Safe Streets for All grant that they've had for New Circle Road. And it's working out well. And that helps us. They have the capacity to do a $15 million road project. That would be a
Yeah.
pretty big lift for us, along with everything else that we have going on. So I think we're going to work out an agreement with them for them to administer the project, so.
That's good.
Great.
Yeah. Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Do we carry that motion?
No.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. All right. Chief Gray? Oh,
Got Ian.
that, you, okay. And while you're coming, we have Mr. Ron Ballard, who's the superintendent of Danville City Schools, in our presence tonight. If you would like to make a comment or two, we will give you that opportunity, but we welcome you in your
Thank you.
attendance tonight. Would you like to say something? You good? All right. Yes, sir.
I'm just here to give an update for codes tonight.
Yes, sir.
It's been a little while. So we're actually working on a lot, and what I just handed out to you is we have implemented a door hanger with the most common issues that we deal with. And so instead of just writing it up, sending it in the mail, now we actually going up to the door, trying to talk to them if they're home. If not, we leave the hanger, and it lets them know to contact us and try to work together. And then also, we're working with the homeless as well on trying to find them housing as much as we can. The grass and weeds, luckily for us, for the month of July, we did not have to spend any money on mowing grass, so that helped out a whole lot, yes. Is there any questions?
I really like this. Is there a follow-up procedure, or do you allow a week or
Yes.
two?
So if we give that a couple of days, about 3 days.
Okay.
And if they don't contact us, or we don't see any improvement with the property, we will go ahead and issue a NOV, a notice of violation, and proceed.
Well, I like the citizen will receive a warning first, and then, so thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a on the
Yeah.
houses, like, you gave us a list on several properties the last time you were here. Any update on any of those? I know
Yes.
you just can't remember them off the top of your head, but.
So, 724 South Fourth, or South Second, I'm sorry. It's ready to come down. It's not been worked on, messed with in a long time. There's actually trees growing out of the floor in the center. So we're ready to move forward on that, and we will send that through the direct people to get that started, hopefully.
Other questions? Chief Brady, you want to finish here?
I'll talk about a couple of things that he hasn't talked about is we've got a lot of properties. He's working on probably 4 or 5 different properties where we've got people that were in houses that were unfit. So not only are we dealing with structural things in those properties, we're also dealing with, in some instances, social services, dealing with the inhabitants in some of those properties. So some of those things are a lot more complex than just putting a door hanger on there and taking a lot more time, especially with some of the issues that we have with the homelessness. Getting in properties, there's a legal process once they kind of establish themselves in those properties and trying to get those people out of those properties and putting some codes and some violation orders in place. We've also met with a couple of property owners that have like apartment complexes, and we've dealt with some issues like the garbage cans being left out multiple days and things like that. So we've had some meetings with some of those people that are in those apartment complexes, and do we want to go to a dumpster unit or something like that in those areas? So we've had some meetings with also some large property owners that have facilities or units, and trying to determine on what we want to do in those areas as far as some of those issues as well. So there's a lot of times people call and they say, well, we got high weeds, or we got dogs barking and some things like that, which codes also has to take on those issues as well. Not all of these things are issues that can be just handled with, just putting a door hanger on it. They're getting more and more complex. Our homelessness is definitely increasing. And as we deal with that, we're also dealing with, they create more and more issues for codes enforcement when they get in and kind of squat in some of those residents and places that are not being occupied at the time. Anything else?
Well, we talked about condemning property,
Right.
like what you're speaking of. and
Yes.
I know that's a
Foreclosure,
slow process, but I don't know if we've condemned anything in the last 2 or 3 years, have we?
Have we condemned anything? No. We have condemned
Yes.
a few.
Yeah.
Have you? Okay.
In the last, just 2025, I've condemned 4.
So maybe you could bring us
Yeah.
another report,
Yeah.
that shows us that. That would be nice.
We can do that.
Because, I mean,
But you condemn them, then we lower them to the ground?
Not always. Not always. That's actually the furthest thing we want to do.
Oh, I know, but that's, yeah,
But sometimes that's what happens.
yes, sir.
Once we have them, we usually put them on there, and we go through each property and see which ones are in the worst shape. And whichever one is in the worst shape, we do end up tearing that one down usually.
But there are several communities in our state who are condemning property, and the city is taking it over, or the county's taking it over, and they are leveling the houses, and then they're putting the land back out on the market for new housing to be built, and several of them are using it for lots for habitat.
Yes, that process has started. And we'll probably have to do some budget amendments
Yeah.
for things like that because the budget was only allocated for so much money to destroy a certain amount of properties. That process is, we have to go with Stephen, and it is a little more complicated. It's not exactly what we had budgeted for. But we do have, I think there was enough money in the budget to condemn maybe 2, maybe 3 properties, I believe, is what we had. And so how do we want to spend that money? Which properties do we want to condemn? And things like that. So we're working with Stephen on some of those issues. But those are just a little more complicated than what we've dealt with in the past.
No, I agree
Mayor,
with you.
Mayor, I was gonna, Stephen did, I think we have initiated foreclosure on, we discussed 422 Duncan Hill a while back, and you all asked us to initiate foreclosure. That process has been officially done. I think that will, Stephen's telling us maybe early next year, it probably goes to auction at the master commissioner sale, that kind of process. I think that's the timeline he's looking at. We've got 3 more I've given him. We need to bring those to you all, I believe, to get kind of official acknowledgement to initiate foreclosure on. We've got a list of maybe 14, 15, I think we've been looking at. So Stephen and I have been talking about that and trying to, I think he has a little more capacity now to move some of those forward. So I think we hopefully will see a lot of progress over that next few months.
I would like, yeah.
Yeah, those things have started. It's just, like I say, it's
I
just a
know,
legal
yeah.
process to get those things going in.
Well, I bring it to you all's attention because in your report tonight, everything's good. But when you get questions like this, those are the kind of things that you need to update us on too, because it'll save some time with the questions. But it also shows the community that we're making progress, because they think that you condemn it, then tomorrow it's gonna be to the ground, and the next day I'm gonna sell it. But I tell people it doesn't work like that.
Correct.
They still don't.
Yeah.
We
Most of
appreciate
it's-
what you're doing, yeah.
Most of that, like I said, is at Stephen's discretion, and he's not here tonight, so we'll take the butt for it
Tell
anyway.
them we talked about it anyway. No, we understand, but it's,
I think people, they'll send you, hey, can you go check this address out? You wouldn't want to live next door to that. So, I'll say, Earl, what about that property? Because I'll go look and I don't know at what point, what you all can do. So I just always refer them to you, but, people don't understand the process
I say
entirely.
we probably get two or three to look at a day, And like I said, that's just how many come in roughly. And, it's just actually him, so, he just can't get to them all but we do try to get to some of them. Some people that they don't even know we've already been to those addresses and stuff like that. We've given the hangers, and like I said, we try to give grace instead of just going out and just throwing a ticket up on somebody's desk the first time you go out there. Some of these things are also, you got to do a little research on who is actually the property owner as well, and making sure we're trying to get those people identified as well.
well, the other part of it too is that you all get 25 complaints from the same citizen. Then they finally get to us, and I said, well, have you talked to anybody else? No, you're the first person. Then I check with my friends over here, and they say, wow, the ladies at the water department know them by their first name. It's been a first, but it takes time. We understand, but you all are doing what you can. And Ian, I see you out there, so I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
I see the chief out there too, but I don't think he's doing code enforcement, but I see him out there.
And I would like, and the fees, I know we mentioned that during the budget process, and I'll stop at that. But, looking at the penalties, are they enough, and how can you do more or whatever? But that's something for y'all to think about.
We've talked to Stephen just a little bit. We probably do need to update some of those things in the code enforcement on, just because legally, some things have changed with property and squatters' rights and stuff like that as the homelessness has changed. So even the county attorney's office, they're handling some of those issues a little bit different. It takes a little bit longer process for landlords and property owners to evict people. So all that stuff is really just turned over a new leaf as homelessness has changed.
Oh, yeah.
So we probably need to update our policies and some of our regulations, and that would be something that we need to work with Stephen on.
Other questions or comments?
You'll need to come back more often.
Yeah, thanks for the update, too. That's right. Thank you. Uh-oh. You're on the clock.
The first one is, I just
You
really
gotta Identify
appreciate,
yourself for the,
Ron Ballard, Superintendent, Danville Schools.
all right.
One is around the improvements that we've made to the front of the high school with the outdoor classroom. And that money, I just wanted people to understand that that money was actually used, was projects that had not been closed out going back to as far as 2011. So there was no new money that was used for that. And all of that money that was, I think, one of the biggest things was, it was 3 local businesses that did that work, with Dawson Horky
Yeah.
and then, of course, Cast Concrete, and then McAfee with the
Yes.
landscaping. So all of that money stayed here with
Good.
local
Good.
businesses.
Good.
And second, I wish Ms. Bledsoe was still here, because there's a lot of misunderstanding about how school finances work. And really, the conversation, I would plead to our local community, needs to go back to the state level. And that, I won't get too much into the numbers, but I've done a 22-year look at what we pay locally versus what's paid at the state level. And our state funding, this is Boyle County schools as well as Danville schools. This is really, you can go to Lawrence County. The local contribution, because the appraisals continue to go up, and that's a good thing, but we don't set the appraisal rate. And so the local responsibility has more than doubled in the last 22 years, where we're receiving less money, even though they say that they're giving more toward each student, based on that 30 cents per 100 that has to come off based on assessments. You have to, the bigger part's coming from the local community. We're getting less from the state.
Wow.
So I would just plead that as we look at that we pressure our legislators in Frankfurt to look at funding public schools.
Yeah.
They've gone about 7 years between 2014 and 2021, where there was only a $19 per student increase. And so when you go that long without increasing it, obviously you're going to get behind. So those are really the only 2 things I wanted to address: the local community supporting us with the project, and tax rates and funding public education.
She would welcome that conversation with you. We had one with her today here at City Hall about educational funding.
Well, what people don't, to get back to 2008 funding, they would have to increase combined $22,250 per student, which would be about a $4.6 million increase. And we've estimated if they were doing that, and we've kept the revenue as it was, we could drop our real property tax 17 cents on the 100. That's substantial for our local community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that information as well. Well, we have no county attorney. this
We
afternoon, so-
do need an executive session for personnel.
Oh, okay. Is there a lawyer, any lawyer in the house, any attorney in the house? So this will be brief, okay?
Yeah.
So Chair entertain a motion for a very brief executive session dealing with personnel only?
I'll make a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel matter pursuant to KRS 618101F.
Second.
I would say no thanks to both of you, but all those in favor of going to executive session, say aye. Say yes?
Aye.
Yeah. All those opposed, aye. Okay, let's go. We're back in regular session. Mr. City Manager?
Thank you. Staff is asking you accept the resignation of Scott Lawson from the fire department through retirement effective 9/30. And so we'll follow that up and honor him, hopefully, at the next meeting, possibly.
Okay.
Okay, very good.
All
So
right. Oh,
moved.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you all. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Next one.
Staff is recommending the reclassification of Jason McKinney to the position of wastewater treatment superintendent.
So moved?
Second.
Thank you, ladies. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I was thinking we was gonna